From the Palmetto State, the SCL Street Stock Series is ready to rock and roll here at the home of all that is racing, right here on Sim Racing Media. Dave Regal with you here in the broadcast booth as we get ourselves underway. Want to welcome you in for the evening as we get ready to rock and roll here at Myrtle Beach. We'll be right back after these messages. As we get ready to roll tonight, Justin Lewis fastest on the timing line right now. Barrett Flo third as he came out. Chris Myers not able to run down a time just yet. Adam Lowe, Todd Russ, Josh Tarrant Hill, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here in the SCL Series. Right now being timed in ninth in the number 8 car. As we get underway, I want to welcome you all in here to Sim Racing Media and the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast Booth. I'm Dave Regal as we're getting, let's just say, a little bit behind the 8 ball as we get underway this evening. Want to welcome everybody into the youtube.com live chat. And, of course, we want to take a look at our race details for this evening here in the Palmetto State. Of course, a beautiful place here in Myrtle Beach, a locale that I'm very much familiar with. In fact, you can see from some of the camera angles tonight the outlet center. And, of course, there's a church right here over the back half of the of turn 3 and 4. Right now, where this radio tower is, you can see that's still there. There's a teal roof over here. Those are outlet shopping centers, and right now they're actually, since Myrtle Beach Speedway itself has been bulldozed, they're getting ready, of course, to develop more land in the Myrtle Beach area, and unfortunately this old racetrack was a victim to that. So it's always exciting when you get to go someplace where you've stood. I've literally stood right where these cars are here on pit road as the drivers are getting ready to rock tonight here. Going to be a quick race tonight, all things considered. 30 laps, 100% fuel, 70 degrees outside right now, and some light usage here on the racetrack as everybody has hopped in as they get ready to grid up, if you will. As right now, the way things are going, Justin Lewis, your pole sitter, has not hopped into the car yet. So just waiting for Justin Lewis, Josh Tarrant Hill, and Todd Myrtle to hop in their racing machines this evening. And I'll tell you what, I've called a couple of races here in the SCL League, and these guys, for lack of a better term, especially what we see on iRacing from time to time, have their act together. Josh Tarrant Hill runs a great ship, a tight ship here. You know, you're even going to see some quickie cautions. If something happens, you know, a spin out or whatever, and nobody comes down pit road, he'll just get rid of those laps, and we'll get back to racing as fast as possible. As Tarrant Hill has hopped into his number 8 machine, waiting for Justin Lewis to hop in, as I'm excited here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast Booth. Of course, tonight's race brought to you by Myrtle Racing Engines. You can check them out. As the driver's waiting for the signal to fire and roll off, waiting for Justin Lewis, Todd Myrtle gets in his machine. And there's Justin Lewis. So the way we're going to be tonight as we take the green flag, Justin Lewis going to be on the pole position from Columbus, Indiana. Chris Myers, but not that Chris Myers, out of Chesapeake, Virginia, going to be on the outside of row number 1. Row number 2 made up of Barrett Flo and Brandon Cornier here in the 55. That double nickel starting in 4th position. Starting on the inside of row number 3, Mike Rinker in the number 9, joined by Jason Crumley on the outside of row number 3. Adam Lowe has the 58 on the inside of row number 4, joined by Todd Russ out of Midland, North Carolina from Bulldog Trucking Series, another proud sponsor here in the SCL Series. Josh Tarrant Hill, chief cook and bottle washer here out of Mooresville, North Carolina, has the number 8 all decked out and ready to roll. Of course, we can see that number 8 kind of a Ralph Earnhardt paint scheme, if you will. Very plain Jane white color there with that red number 8 on the side. Looking great, Josh. Todd Merkel from Dearborn, Michigan, just outside of the Motor City, going to start on the outside of row number 5, while row number 6 going to be made up of Matt Mingo out of Ellsworth, Maine, and starting shotgun on the field, a rookie, Casey Wynn, going to have the 05 starting from shotgun. So 30 laps tonight. They're planning on being done in 30 minutes or less, as Justin Lewis leads the field behind the iRacing.com pace truck, that is, that Chevrolet Silverado, getting ready to make the hard left turn down pit road. Cars looking great tonight. That 24 Garza here on the outside looking awesome. Some of these paint schemes, especially some of the real estate that they have to paint on these street stocks, is just incredible as we come out of turn number 3, waiting for that Silverado to make the hard left turn. As we're going to have one more parade lap here. Just an excellent way as he makes the left turn down pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, grab some popcorn, call a friend, and settle in, because as we work out of turn number 4, Justin Lewis, with control of the field, hits the start-finish line, and we are green flag racing from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Lewis getting a good start over Myers here, as maybe that rear end stepping out on him side by side goes Barrett Flo and Chris Myers. They suddenly go single file. And all of a sudden, Mike Rinker in that old Ward Burton Caterpillar paint scheme with that Dodge right across the front from 2002 when he won the Daytona 500. He's working the inside right now of Brendan Cornier as the double nickel in that Miller Genuine Draft machine tries to work the high side. As they come down the backstretch here on lap number 2, looks like Rinker going to have the advantage this time over Cornier. And back here, a second pack forming, led by Todd Russ. He has Josh Tarrant Hill just behind him, as Tarrant Hill starting to look to the inside of Russ now. And Russ looking to see if he can hold him off. He does very successfully, and that leaves just one battle undecided at the moment. That's Todd Merkel and Jason Crumley, as Merkel starts to work the low side as we are under caution. Oh, my! Oh, my goodness. That's not how you want to treat your race leader. We're going to run this one back right here. We can see the 24 of Chris Myers side by side with Justin Lewis as they come out of turn 4. Lewis gets loose and hooks the 24. And then, just to add insult to injury, looks like that was the 55. Nope, I'm sorry. The 92 of Barrett Flo hooking Lewis. We'll take one more look at that, as we can get just a little bit closer here. We can see the 7 just stepping out. Oh. And then the 92. Oh, my. Well, let's see if we can see that from anybody's cockpit here. As we're going to take a look right here from Barrett Flo's cockpit. He sees it happening in front. He goes low but can't avoid the 7 as he just kind of bulldogs his way through there. Definitely not something that he intended to do, that's for sure. So caution number 1, lap number 4 here, as that's going to freeze the timer and freeze the lap counter. Now everybody going to start cycling through the field. Looks like the light's still on the iRacing.com pace truck, that is. Of course, our first night here in the Sim Racing Media broadcast booth. Want to apologize for some of the graphical errors. Of course, the SCL Late Model Series is going to follow this immediately. So if you like hanging out with me right here in the Street Stock Series, we'll be moving over to the late model just after this. And I'll tell you what, I'm always excited for some late model racing, especially here at Myrtle Beach. That was the bread and butter when this track was open. And of course, as we all know, where Dale Earnhardt Jr. really got his legs underneath him as a race car driver, as a professional race car driver. You'll have to forgive me, folks. Sometimes the real world busts in here. And, of course, my day job decided to cut in here on the old telephone. Why not? As Adam Lowe now looking to the inside of Mike Rinker. Rinker goes high to give Lowe plenty of space. Rinker knows that he's got the speed, so he's not really worried about the real estate he just gave up. Now he does the crossover move and gets underneath Lowe. Lowe now stepping all the way around. Oh, he manages to hold it together. That was impressive right there. We'll take a look back at that momentarily as they make contact, the 58 and the 9. Adam Lowe here in the 58 trying to hold him. Ooh, a rub of the wall for Mike Rinker here on lap number 8. They're starting to tick off nice and easy now. Everybody getting into their groove, so to speak. Looks like we've got a lot of single file battles right here, with the exception of Chris Myers, who's just getting around Todd Russ. Myers wants to get back up there in the lead, as well as does Justin Lewis, they were, of course, the unfortunate casualties of that battle for the lead just a few moments ago. We'll take a quick look back here and see what happened with Mike Rinker. As Rinker was coming out of 3 and 4 and on to the front stretch, he goes for the crossover move under the 58 of Adam Lowe. Lowe starts to lose it, and they manage to hold it together. So excellent driving by the 58 and the 9 as we're here on lap number 10 back live. Barrett Flo, your race leader. He's got the 92 nice and comfortable, about 7/10 of a second over the rookie, Brendan Cornier. And some of these battles really starting to heat up. The 05 of Casey Wynn starting to look to the inside of Josh Tarrant-Hill. Hill trying to hold on to the high side. They're close, but not close enough, as all of a sudden Justin Lewis becomes the victor here. That was impressive. We'll take a look back at that in a few moments, as we may see some fireworks here. We're going to go for a ride along with Josh Tarrant-Hill in the cockpit. You can see Josh not really uncomfortable here in a car. He's hitting his marks and getting those left tires right down on that inside white line. Maybe a couple of wall rubs from Casey Wynn and Justin Lewis just ahead of him. That causes Wynn to back up to Justin Lewis, and now Lewis looking to try to get himself around Wynn. Maybe a loose condition here for Hill as he comes out, but manages to keep it moving steadily forward. Casey Wynn trying to hold off Justin Lewis as that battle starting to get even hotter. And just behind Tarrant-Hill is the 24 of Chris Myers, but not that Chris Myers, as he looks to the inside of Hill. Chris Myers holding on for dear life as he gets 8th position away from Hill. Meanwhile, Barrett Flo's lead starting to evaporate as Brendan Cornier now 0.3 of a second behind. Looks like a little fender damage here on the 92. Obviously, the aero package not that big of a deal here at a short track such as Myrtle Beach, but we have gotten to the halfway point in this piece. 15 laps to go out of the 30 scheduled. We'll take a look back and see what happened on lap 11 here with Justin Lewis. Going to watch the 7 as he just about lost it behind the 8. They go side by side and manage to keep it moving forward as he nabs away that position from Hill. "13 laps to go now. Barrett Flo, your race leader, with a quarter of a second over Brendan Cornier. Then about 3 seconds all the way back to Adam Lowe. So Lowe has a lot of distance to make up to get to Cornier in that battle for the lead. But the back of the field is where we start to see some more real estate evaporating with 12 laps to go now. The 05 of Casey Wynn looking to the inside now. Getting loose coming out of 2 onto the back chute. He manages to keep the 3K05 together as he is chasing down the Garza 24. And I thought that was the Garza law firm, as I just got a good look here at the 24's hood. Want to welcome everybody into the youtube.com live chat. I see all of you here watching. I'd like to hear from you and who you're cheering on tonight with 10 laps to go. Glad to have each of you with us, and thank you for making us a part of your evening. Of course, tonight here we are getting ourselves ready to rock and roll here at Myrtle Beach. Of course, this kind of the appetizer for tonight's 50-lapper for the late model stock car tour. And I'll tell you what, the late models are something exciting. I got to tell you. I mean, this kind of a racetrack was built for that, and it's unfortunate that this track had to go the way that it did as far as management and things like that are concerned. But, unfortunately, business is business. And speaking of business being business, Matt Mingo putting up with the business from Chris Myers as he's desperately trying to hold on to the 12. He's all kinds of loose as a goose coming across the start-finish line with 8 laps to go. That loose condition going to cost him, though, as now he's going to also be ceding away 7th position. So Mingo not able to hold it together as he is going to give away 7th position to Casey Wynn, the rookie. Barrett Flo being challenged now by Brendan Cornier. And just as I hope I'm pronouncing Cornier right, you know what? Quite frankly, even if it is Cornoyer, it feels better to say Cornier. Just feels, here we are in hockey season, of course, so all the Canadian names floating around. It just feels a little bit better in that Miller Genuine Draft number 55, the double nickel, if you will. As our next closest battle on the track going to be Todd Rush chasing down Todd Merkel. So a battle of the Todds as Merkel getting loose just in front of the 49. We can see the 49 starting to look to the inside of Merkel, and Merkel not going to be giving it up anytime soon. Meanwhile, at the opposite end of this race with 4 laps to go, Barrett Flo and Brendan Cornier duking it out here for the lead as they haul it off into turn 3, roll it out of 4. We're going to be 3 laps to go. These street stock cars are a handful. I mean, don't... Jason Crumley going off the track here. Not sure what happened with him as he is down on the grass. And he will be our only car a lap down. With 2 to go, the popsicle sticks are in the air. Cornier now deciding this may be the time to make his move on Barrett Flo. He's looking to the inside. He peeks to the right. He's got that Grand Prix looking now to the inside. They come out of Turn number 4, the popsicle sticks go down, the white flag's in the air. We're racing back to checkers. Cornier not able to hold on to this battle with Flo, as Flo just showing him why he has handled this race the way he has. They roll out of turn number 4. Barrett Flo, your race winner here in the Street Stock Series of the SCL. Gonna get ourselves a hold of these 3 drivers momentarily here. If I can find them, you'll just have to bear with me. I'm still getting used to the broadcast booth here. If these 3 drivers could get themselves into the waiting room, that'd be great. Bear with me here. And, of course, first here in the chute on the Sim Racing Media, going to be race winner Barrett Flo. Hey, Barrett, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, buddy.
Sorry about that delay. I was still trying to get some things together as you got the 92 over to victory lane. What a dominating performance tonight. You got yourself up out of 3rd position and did not look back all night long after that early wreck. How are you feeling getting through this?
I feel pretty good. Those, it would have probably been a little bit different situation if those 2 up front hadn't have got together, but it worked out in my favor.
It did. Now, looking forward to later on tonight, are you going to be in the late model stock tour?
Yeah, we're going to move over there after a while and try that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, watching the street stocks and of course the late models coming up next here on Sim Racing Media is always exciting. Me personally, I like to see that at a track like this, and unfortunately, they bulldoze this track in real life, but it has life eternal on iRacing.com. How is it to be at a place like Myrtle Beach?
Well, I mean, it's neat to go to a place, in a not so real world where the track no longer exists. It's kind of fun to get to relive some of those moments. I've been there as a fan and watched a race there, so it's kind of cool to get to do some of this stuff online.
Well, and speaking of racetracks that are no longer around, Hickory is next week, or I'm sorry, in 2 weeks on the 28th. How are you feeling going to Hickory Motor Speedway?
Well, we'll just have to see. Chris and Justin, they'll be really, really tough at those tracks, but I feel confident we can hang with them.
All right, man. Well, listen, good luck later tonight. Congratulations on this win, and we will see you in a little while.
Okay, thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you, sirs. We're going to move him back on down here. Up next is driver of the double nickel, the number 55. Hey, Brendan, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got me? Hey, Brendan, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me? So third, but certainly not least here on the podium, Mr. Adam Lowe. Hey, Adam, I don't know if Brendan has the ability to talk there in the here in the broadcast booth. Can you confirm that, yes or no?
I am unable to communicate with him, it sounds like, as well.
Okay. All right. Well, then, needless to say, here you are, third step on the podium, of course, after some earlier hijinks, if you will, on the racetrack. Chesterfield, Michigan native, bringing home third place. How are you feeling after this run?
I feel pretty good. I was really struggling in practice. Obviously, Barrett's been fast all day here. I leaned on him for notes, and it helped me out a lot. Me and Rinker had a very spirited battle there for the third position after the one and only restart. A lot of contact, but I feel it was very fair racing. I hope he thought the same, and thankfully I was able to come out on top a little bit.
Absolutely. Now, will you be over in the late model stock tour coming up next?
Yeah, I'm really excited to run that race. Ran some practice laps earlier, and I think I got a good setup line going. We'll see how I stack up here when we move over and actually do some practice with other people.
All right, man. Well, listen, before we cut you loose tonight here from this podium, who do you need to thank for this quick run?
I'd like to thank my teammates, Josh Terrett Hill, as well as Barrett Flo, for keeping me up to speed here tonight. And then I'd like to thank my wife for allowing me to get on here every night.
All right, my man. Well, listen, we will see you in a little bit in the late model stock tour. Good luck, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, thank you. We'll see you over there.
Well, folks, another one in the books tonight here for the Street Stock Series in the SCL leagues, and I'll tell you what, it has been exciting. It was quick, too. I mean, if you blink too fast, you might have missed it. So we're going to get ourselves all set up. We'll get a fresh feed for you here on Sim Racing Media. I'm Dave Riegel. This is the SCL Tour.